Yo, what is going on YouTube? JT2 Valid back at it again with another video. Today we are going to be ranking school subjects. Before this video begins, I just want to say drop a sub, like, comment, you feel me? Turn on post notice, all that, so you can get a notification for when I post, you feel me? I'm trying to get more consistent, more into the YouTube field, so it would help and I would really appreciate it if you support your boy, you feel me? One last thing before the video starts, I apologize beforehand if I sound very out of it, low energy, or tired. I kind of pulled an all-nighter. I kind of suffer from insomnia. I couldn't say that word, but yeah, I suffer from insomnia, so I was up like all night. So if I sound like low on energy, or I'm not as sporadic as I used to be, I'm just tired, okay? But we're on our grind. We're gonna keep doing this, you feel me? And we're gonna get that content out. So without further ado, let's get to it. All right, so boom, school subjects, you feel me? I've actually been wanting to do this for quite a little minute. I made sure to put like the little core subjects, English, math, science, all that. But I also did add some, electives that sound like fun, this and the third, not to make the tier list a little boring, make it a little fun, you feel me? I would say the way I would be ranking these is mostly like how enjoyable the class is and like the necessity of the class, if that makes sense. So like if you really need the class to function in society, this and the third, like if you really need this class, that's mainly how I'm gonna be ranking these you feel me, these subjects. All right, enough yapping, let's get straight to it. Automatically, I feel like I'm gonna put English at a solid A tier. You definitely need English in life. Yeah, as for enjoyability, if that even is a word, me personally, I would put it down to B because English isn't that enjoyable, you feel me? With English, it's more of like a writing aspect. I'm good at writing, but it's like, you feel me? Like the only time like anybody would enjoy writing is like, if they get to write about whatever they want. Mainly when we do writing, like in school now, it's just a given prompt, write about this topic. In all honesty, if I added creative writing on the tier list, it would definitely be going into an A, but since it's just English by itself, just reading papers, writing, writing about stuff you don't really like, you feel me? I give it a solid B tier. Not bad, but not the best, you feel me? Next up, we got art. I'm going to be biased on this one since I'm an artist. I love art, okay? Art is an instant S tier. It's amazing, it's fun. I'm not gonna lie, if you hate art class, you're just not creative. And that's actually a good hot take. I hate when people say, oh, I hate art class, I can't draw, da 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 da. At the 9 times out of 10, the teacher will say, it doesn't matter. Like the quality of the drawing really doesn't matter. It's just you trying. 90% of the time, the art teacher literally says that to you. Up next, we got Spanish. I'm gonna put Spanish in C tier, and here's why. I actually took Spanish sophomore and junior year. It's all right. I feel like it's a 50-50. I mean, on one hand, it's Spanish, so you're learning a new language, okay? If you speak like fully English, it's gonna be like, not that, feel me? It's not gonna be that interesting to you. People who actually speak Spanish, like I've had people who spoke Spanish and got a Spanish class, it is one of the most freest classes ever taken in their life, I'm not gonna lie. If you know Spanish, the class is an easy A, honestly, it's an easy A. But if you don't, it could be a little bit difficult. I mean, it's useful. Actually, no, hold on. I'm actually gonna move Spanish up to B tier. The reason why I'm gonna actually move Spanish up to B tier is because Spanish is actually the second most spoken language in the world. In my 19 years of living, I've had 3 part-time jobs, and in 2 of them, I come across a lot of Spanish speakers or people who are heavily Spanish spoken and don't know that much English. Spanish is definitely useful if you want to become bilingual, which is actually a good thing for you because being bilingual means you could communicate with other people who, you feel me, don't know English. I feel like I jumped the gun a little bit too fast, you feel me? Spanish is actually up there, B tier, I'm not gonna lie. The only reason why I put it in C tier so fast is because learning Spanish in itself can actually be difficult at some points. Like the nosotros, yo, tú, you feel me, like addressing other people like we, you, to like that can kind of be hard and confusing, and there's some sort of rules in Spanish that you have to follow. Like apparently there's female words and male words. Yeah, so Spanish, I got it at B tier. My fault, Spanish. All right, up next we got graphic design. Graphic design, I'm kind of stuck between A and B tier, I'm not gonna lie. I think I'm gonna put graphic design in between English and Spanish because obviously English is more important than graphic design, but then again, graphic design is actually like, you feel me? Graphic design is really good. I feel like with school electives like that, if you're really locked in with like, you know, computer tech and how like creative things work, like Adobe and stuff like that, you can really have that as a gateway for an actual like, you know, job or company, this, that, and the third, you feel me? I remember taking my graphic design freshman year. It was a 10 out of 10. I got to use Adobe Photoshop for free, no subscription plan. And I also got to make personal projects for myself to send them on my phone for my YouTube channel. Graphic design was a 10 out of 10, and I got to learn new skills in Adobe After Effects. Up next, we got PE. PE is definitely making its way to A tier, most definitely. No shadow of a doubt. I'm not gonna lie. PE is one of the most easiest classes you can pass. I don't think you can ever fail PE. All you have to do is just put on clothes. That's it. Plus, if you're an athlete or someone like me who enjoys physical activities, you're getting a bonus. Basketball, soccer, volleyball, they got all the sports in that gym. I feel like the only downside for PE is that if you play too hard, you're gonna sweat, all right? And you don't wanna come into the next class smelling like, you know, a can of bounce that ass. Next, we have science. I'm gonna put science at the highest tier of B. Science is definitely needed in some parts of the real world, so that's why I put it in the B tier. But also, science can also be a very enjoyable class. Now, to keep the video short and the tier list short, I didn't put any like, you know, major broken down stuff like, you know, chemistry and stuff like that. I just put science, but depending on what actual like science like class you have, it could be very fun. Like, you're telling me in chemistry I could whip up stuff like mini shields and like potions that could like, you know, make me fly or something like that. Science is amazing. And it's not even just chemistry, it's just other science in itself, because you're learning about the life and organisms in itself. It's amazing because you get to learn about your body and how it works and all that. Amazing. 10 out of 10 class, would recommend. Yo, gang, I'm saying would recommend like it's not a core class, bro. Next up, we got math. As much as I want to put this in the F tier, I'm gonna put it in C tier. But JT, math is important, it should be higher. I don't care. My thing with math is that yes, it's important, obviously, you use math like every day throughout your life, but at certain points in the curricular system, they just give you just straight BS. The higher you go in math, the more it feels like it's less of like an actual math problem and more of like a riddle or like a question that you just have to plug in random formulas to get an answer. Like, math isn't really math when you get like higher up into it. Now, obviously you got things like calculus and algebra and all that. And yes, if you want to, you know, give or take about that situation, yes, those are also useful if you want to work at NASA. I just feel like math in itself kind of loses its own plot when it comes to like, you know, higher up education, if that makes sense. Like, the more grades you go up, the more like math you have to do, obviously, but it's like, gang, what am I doing? Like, this doesn't seem like I'm gonna use this. So that's why I can't really like rank math at like high B tier or even A tier, because yes, it's useful, but at the same time it's like, gang, what am I even doing at this point? Next, we have film and editing. I'm actually gonna put film and editing at C tier. Now, this might seem surprising, you know, since I'm a, you know, YouTuber and I edit my own videos and record them. Back when I was in high school, we actually had a film and editing class. I wasn't in it, but I was friends with people who were actually in it. The film part I never liked because you had to tote around this fat camera with the equipment, and it was very expensive, and if you broke it, you have to buy it. And also, when you would film, you would have to be very like particular about filming. It's light quality, you know, the time of day, you know, specs on the camera, all this, that, and the third. You know, you had to get the right angle. There was all that sort of stuff. It just seemed like hell through my eyes. Editing is one of the most tedious processes when it comes to making content or producing some sort of entertainment. Things have to be consistent, clean, precise. You can't just have flashy edits going up and down, left and right, and then further into the video, it's just not consistent. The quality before the video should match the quality when the video is done. That right there sets a bar between how much you should edit and how least you should edit. But also, you have to hit the viewer's expectations, if not higher, to keep the viewer, you know, engaged in the video, which is why I put film and editing at a solid C tier. It's amazing, but tedious. I feel as though I'm gonna put history in like the mid tier of C. I put history in C because history can kind of get boring no matter what you kind of, you know, read up on. I put history in C because history can kind of get, I will give credit where credit is due. History is important though. You need to study where things come from and how things are in today's society because of the past. But all in all, history as a class itself is kind of boring, but still useful. After history, we got theater. I'm putting theater in D tier. Theater can be fun, but I feel like theater could also be very not fun. And I feel like there's a reason why most schools don't even have a theater club or theater class, because nobody's doing that. Like, just imagine you performing a whole play in front of your school and all you're doing is just being a tree and just standing on the stage like this. And everybody can just see your face and your body is just an apple tree or something like that. And also, I don't really think there are even any gains to doing theater besides learning how to act, but I mean, you could just do that on your free time. It's not that hard. So yeah, theater is going to be a hard D tier for me. I'm not even going to waste my time yapping with band. It's just going to go straight to an F. Only perk for band is literally that you just learn how to play the instrument that you chose. That's it. And before y'all get in my case in the comments talking about JT, stop talking about things you have no experience with. I was actually in a band class for gifted kids with talent. That's right, your boy played the trumpet. It was cool, I guess. There's not really any gain to playing or learning the trumpet or any other instrument out there besides just like, I mean, you can play music, that's it. It's like at the end of the day, you got to carry around this big fat suitcase around with your instrument in and be all gentle with it, this and the third. And then when you actually play the instrument, depending on what instrument you play, it hurts. I'm not gonna lie, it hurts. I've played the trumpet and I've played the violin. Both of them hurt a lot. When it comes to trumpets, trombones, tubas and all that, blowing into that little mouthpiece for a long period of time practicing hurts. You get lightheaded because you're constantly blowing and you're out of breath, and then you get all sore near your lips. It's just not a fun experience. And then for the violin, you can nick yourself with like the strings just on the third going down. It's just not good. Band, F tier. Next we got coding and programming. I'm putting coding and programming right behind math. I'm not gonna lie. Reason why it's below math and in C tier is because one, I'm pretty sure you do need to know math to code or program. And two, coding and programming is a huge 50-50. If you're going into like the coding or programming field, you have to lock in. From firsthand experience, I will say learning how to code is hell. It's hell on earth. It is one of the worst things you could try to learn and just jump straight into. Don't. Don't. I will say once you actually learn a code, like a language of a code like Python or something like that, you're chilling. I'm not gonna lie, you're chilling. My take on coding is that it's enjoyable in the end period, but the beginning period, it sucks. It completely sucks. Oh my god, it sucks. The rewards of learning how to code are amazing though. You can develop apps, games, you know, you could actually get a high paying job from that, you know, video game developer. It's amazing. If you learn how to code, congratulations to you. I'm not gonna lie. Your balls are big.
What?
Next, we got reading. I'm putting reading right in A tier. Now, before you get on me talking about some, oh, JT, reading's the same as English. No, it's not. English leads more into the writing aspect of things, whereas reading is literally reading, and it's more leaning towards, you know, comprehending what you read and answering questions, this and the third, you feel me? Super chill, nothing too crazy, and all out, you get to read some interesting things, I'm not gonna lie. I got reading class at my A tier. For business and economics, I'm shooting this straight up to S tier. I actually took economics my senior year of high school. It was one of the best classes I could ever take. Economics is one of those classes where if you get in and start learning, you're gonna get the idea of, yes, this is what, you know, teaching and learning is actually about. You feel me? When you get into economics, you learn very useful things in that class. Same thing for business. You learn about networking, supply and demand. You learn how to make a sales pitch. You learn all that good stuff. And that takes you a very long way in life. Majoring in business and economics is actually a very smart move in my opinion. You got to think with business and economics, you are actually learning how to manage this type of stuff, which is a gateway for you to make your own thing. Unlike other majors where they throw you into the workforce to get a high paying job, business and economics actually trains you to be your own boss. Business and economics, solid A tier. Definitely solid A tier. And last, we got medical. I actually got medical at mid A. Reason why I put medical at mid A is because it's definitely where the money is at. I'm not gonna lie. Medical, chef's kiss. If you go into the medical field, you're making racks. I'm not gonna lie, you're making racks. Only downside about medical is that it takes very long to get there, and it's a lot of work. I've seen the medical like you feel me, field and what you have to do to like actually be, you know, in the medical team, this and the third, actually go out there and be in the medical field, it's a lot. You got to go to school a very long time. You got to do very difficult classes. You got to learn very difficult things. You are learning how to operate, depending on what you're trying to do. You are learning how to operate on the human body. You got to lock in, gang. So it's very demanding, but very rewarding. Medical, mid-A. And that's gonna be our tier list, you feel me? Let me know if you would change some things around. Let me know if my takes were good, bad, mid. Let me know what you got going on over there. Once again, I appreciate it if y'all boys drop a sub, y'all feel me? I am dying to get to that 1K, bro. I need it. We're so close. Your boy's starting to be more consistent now that my schedule is opening up a little bit more. Next month, I feel as though I'm going to be able to post way more than I have ever been able to in my entire career. So hopefully I can run it up in July. But yeah, that's going to be it for today's video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Let me know what y'all want to see in the next video. You feel me? Show your boy some love. I love all y'all. Don't let nobody tell you nothing. If you want to be something, become it. Be the best thing that you are. If it's positive, if it's negative, change that to positive. You feel me? Don't let nobody tell you nothing. Chase your dreams, man. It's your boy JT. Catch you on the next video. Peace.